Hello everyone, welcome back again. So in our today's build, we're gonna start the second part of our Amazon clone, which we have been started earlier. So as you may remember, we have been done this entire home page in our build. So what we'll start today is to create that dynamic of page and also to create some dynamic pages by which we can showcase all the product details. As you see, this is the dynamic page coming with the product and giving an exact route with the ID. As you will see, we have the two part here. One's the left part, one is the right part. So if you click any of the image, as you see, it's just taking the images as a selected image. And also in the right side we have our details, and also as you can see all the review section, prices and other properties. Also will be able to add to cart from here. That will be the similar button which we have been using here in that build. So to start with, if you doesn't have the code earlier, you can feel free to go back at this video and you will learn each and everything, how to create, how to add, and how to do all what other properties. The link, it will be in the description. So what I'm gonna do, so I'm gonna start my running projects, should be pnpm dev, to start with this simultaneous effect. So we're gonna create each and everything from here. Okay, so it's already created. If we click, yeah, we have been done here to just adding the toaster. So once we created in that particular product, we should be able to go in one of the dynamic page. Okay, so you're gonna create that. So how are we gonna create the dynamic page? To create any dynamic page in Nextjs 14 in this app router, you just need to go in the app and then you need to create a directory here. I'm gonna give a name of as a product. But we don't want to go in the product, we want to go in a dynamic route which will generate with the ID. So I'm going to take another directory here which will take ID, so the third bracket, then ID and closing. That will be the creating a dynamic routing setup here. So within that ID, I'm going to create a page.tsx. Let's just get that done, RFCE, to just bring that page in the scenario. Okay, so it will be our single product page. Hit save. So now also I'm gonna run that container here just to be go with in a sort. Okay, so now if we just click any of that, it should be able to roll back us to the dynamic link. But how we gonna render that one? So as you see in that div, so this entire portion, what I'm gonna do is to generate that one within that link parameter. So I'm gonna just get the link here. Okay, so then I'm gonna paste everything within that link, and also the href which going to be provided href. I think link didn't import it yet, so I need to import from the next link. So the href, I'm going to provide a single parameter on the path name. That path name should be is equal to, it will be a product and product / so dynamically I will inject that our product dot ID. So that will be the path name it will go through, and also I want to pass a query parameter, and that query parameter will be go through as an ID, and the ID I'm going to pass that product.id. So these two parameters should be responsible to take me to that particular single page, and then also I'll be able to fetch the ID within that instances. So now if we just roll back here, as you see, okay, I think everything is working properly. Or also for any other parameter, remember I think okay, for right now I'm gonna keep this as the same, as it's not having any problem. Also giving a reload, let's see if everything working and fine. So now if I just click on that, it should be take me to that particular page which was created with the ID. As you see, we're now in that single product page. Also you can able to see we have the ID here which is coming with the query. So now let's just put some class name here, should be padding y. I'm going to provide a 10 of padding y just to give some room to breathe on that. So now as you see, if we just go back in our, I'm going to just close all other screens alongside without that. And now if we roll back to our home page, and if we just see the endpoint here, so that's the endpoint which we use that dummy JSON property. And for this video link, it will be the first link in the description. Feel free to go and watch the previous build. It will be awesome if you can watch properly and then start building. It's very simple to create those projects, but you just need to give a better idea, and also hit the like and subscribe. It will be give me boost to create so many videos like those, and so many people still not subscribing but watching. Please do subscribe. So now that's the all the products is underlying here, but what I want to get the products number 2. So as you see, once I provide that, it's giving me the single product. So that's the one I need to create here. So that will be the same procedure which I am doing here. I'm gonna just copy this portion just to show you how we can be dealing with that here. And also, as I'm going to create an assign function await, so it should be one assign function, and also I need to get my fetch data. So now as I have that, I'm gonna comment that, because right now I don't have the ID, and how I will get the ID, that's the question. So to get the ID, if I just make that as a search params, and I'm gonna lock the params by which I'm just taking it there, so it will be that search params, just hit save, and now as you see, I have that ID. So the query you send back here using that query parameter, you can get it back by using that search parameter. Okay, so within the search param, I have that ID. And now if I want, I can destructure the ID, and how I can do that. So I'll make that const ID, as you see the ID within the object. So it will be equal to search params. And now instead of the search params, if I just console the ID, you'll be able to see that one ID is available here. If we just go back and just coming up with another ID, you see the ID number 4 is available. So what we can do it right now here with that ID, instead of just dealing that particular effect, I'm gonna go and take it within the backtick and then /ID. Okay, so now we are having that particular endpoint, so we will be able to also grab the product. So now hit save, and also I'm going to log my product to see if that product is coming. So it will be products, hit save. So we should be able to see, no, there is no product yet, so means we missed something. So for right now, let's just okay, it should not be this one, because we will not destructure the product. We will just catching a particular product. As you may remember, it's just the product, but if we just take all the products is underlying on that products. That's why you're destructuring in the first on the first level. So now you just give it the deal with that. So now also I'm gonna provide some metadata here just to align with that. So it will be the product view page. As you see, that metadata is changed. So now what we're gonna do, we need to provide first, if we just come over here in the bottom, and if we just make a p tag which going to generate that product, oops, it should be products dot title. Instead of products, as it's a single product, I'm gonna just rename that one as product, not the products. So it will be product dot title. So if we just come here, as you see, we have the title. Now, what will be the type for that search params? To just provide the search param types, what I'm gonna do is that creating a type property should be interface, and I'm gonna define the props. The prop should be search params, and then it will be an object, and we're gonna provide an ID, and whenever we are passing the ID, even if we are passing the number, it will just coming, we're gonna receive it as an like a string. So we're gonna provide that string as the search param ID. So now it already has been gone. So now what I'm gonna do, as you see, that properties here is the single product property. So now we can deal with multiple segment here. So first thing first, how we gonna provide the scenario here? So first we're gonna have two properties, right? So we're gonna have two div. One div, it will just reflect with the image, and another div, it will reflect with the content. So one will be for the images, one will be for the content. So these two properties we're gonna align with that. And also what I'm gonna do it here, we're gonna make it as a grid, and first thing it's gonna be grid calls of 1. Whenever we hit in the medium screen, it should be grid calls of 2, and also whenever and the gap we're gonna provide a 10 pixel, like the 10 gaps is not the pixel, it will be 40 pixel of gap. As you see, that's the two part we're gonna maximize. So now first thing first, let's go and create a separate I think the file here. We're going to provide that all our product image.tsx. And why we are doing that, as you may remember, we need to be making a clickable function in the image. Once we click any of the image, the selected image should be selected, others should be unselected, and we need to just create a separate scenario by which we need to create we need to use the use client property. Okay, so now here what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna define that it should be, or instead of that particular div, I'm gonna just slowly get my product image. Okay, so in the product image I will be able to send that all the properties, but what I'm gonna just pass that product right now. Later on you can just stop to send everything, just send whatever you are requiring here. So now in the product image, let's just go and make some changes here. So in that particular product image, I'm gonna just generate one image. Should be, let's just make that image, and that image need to be coming from next image. And in the source, I'm gonna make that, so I need to grab that product, so it should be product, and also I need to define the type for that. So interface props product should be the type of product we have. So now we can just pass that as a props. Okay, done. So it will be product dot images, and I'm gonna pass just the first parity of that image, and the auto tag should be that main image, and also I'm gonna provide a width of 500 and also the height of 500. Hit save. I just want to see one image here. As you see, now we are having the images, so we can now start working with some other properties. And what kind of properties we are talking about? First thing first, I'm gonna take one use if like a properties here, const, which should be that image URL, and we're gonna make the set image URL, and by default you just state I'm gonna make it as an empty. Okay, so right now either we can make an empty, or we can just make that to keep the first one. So should be that a product dot images, and remember the first one, it will be that first priority. So instead of that image, we can just provide that our first image, so that will symbolize the same images. As you see, we're using the hook here, so of course we need to make it as use client. That's why I separate, because this entire thing I'm gonna keep it as server side. So whenever we are needing any of the client side interactive, we will just define that in a client side library. Okay, so now as you see, still we have the images. If you just roll back and come up with separate another images, still images there, so means it's working. So now where I'm needing that, I will just simplify creating one use effect hook, use effect. Okay, so now also I'm going to provide a dependency here. Right now I'm going to keep it as empty. So what I'm going to say, if we have the product, then what we're going to do is that set image URL. So means whenever I am having the product, so this requirement, this use effect, if I'm not setting it right now, I need to go back to create that use effect, to come back here and make every time whenever I'm landing on that page, to make it particularly on that scenario if I keep that empty. But now we're not needing that use effect, because remember the first instances, what we did, we keep that the first image as the first scenario. So now we need to separate the scenario. So one, it will be this image. So if we just make one, will be the right side, and another should be the left side. So that's the left side we created. Now we will create the right side. So in the right side, what it will be happen there, so it will be like product dot images dot map, because as if you just check the response, if you just check that particular responses, you will see it will be just an, what you call that, just an effectively coming as an array. Oops, I think there should be an full stop here. Okay, so now from here we're going to return another again one image, and this time also that image going to be having a source property. The source, it will be an item, and also you're going to provide the key. The key should be the index properties, and also the weight, we're going to provide a 200 of weight. Height, it will be of 200. Just hit save. I think yeah, we need to provide an alternative tag here. So the alt tag, it should be like product image. Okay, so now you see we have 4 images here. 3 is here, 1 is here. So now we need to make it looks much more better. So put a class name here. In the class name, it should be flex. Flex should be start. Okay, flex start. Okay, coming up. So now not so look good, but we will make it looks better. So here put a class name. So right now the class name, it should be, we're gonna give you width of 24, height of 24, and should be that object should be contain, and also cursor should be pointer. Opacity should be 80, and whenever we hover, opacity should be 100, and duration should be to taking the effect is the 200, and we're gonna make a border should be gray of 200, and then margin bottom should be 1. If we do that, let's see what we're having. That you see now we are just getting one particular scenario here to make that image in a very good fashion. So now instead of putting that here, I'm gonna just round up in a div here. Okay, now it looks better. So that particular image, let's just make some definition here to by which it will be also looks perfectly better. So instead of taking that image simply directly here, I'm gonna generate that within a div properties. Here the class name should be background gray of not 50, I'm gonna provide 100, and rounded should be MD, and also margin left should be 5, width should be full, and max height it should be go through maximum 550 pixel. Okay, right now you see there is a background effect is coming. So also to define that one here, I'm going to provide that full width of the parents and full height of the parents, and object should be contain. Okay, that looks nice. So now whenever we click, we need to set the image, the first image, with the prioritize. So now what I'm gonna do here in that image properties, we're gonna provide an on click event. So in on click, that set image URL should be item. So whatever the item is selected, that should be the selected image. If we click here, okay, I think it will take a bit time, or it will, okay, I'm gonna just make it reload to see. Okay, click. No, it's not changing. Yeah, it's changing. It's just taking a bit of time, but it's changing. So while it's just get it loaded, we're gonna define some other properties. So instead of dealing that class name here, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make some conditional class name by which we can define pretty much properly that how that should be looking here. So putting a backtick here, give the previous class name by which all other class name is just taking the effect. And now what I'm gonna do is that let's just make here, I think we'll be inside within that. So what we need to write is here, if we have that image URL, okay, that's our prime suspect, so we're gonna have that. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go with a $sign, and if that image URL is equal to that item, only then we're gonna take the effect of that class name. So the border should be gray of 500, not 50, 500. Rounded should be SM, not MD. I'm gonna give a medium rounded, and then also make the opacity of 100. Okay, I think now it should be working good. If we click, okay, as you see, it's just now in a properly aligned, and we can see that's the image which we are looking for. Okay, and also if you're just having you can make also a padding of 1, so it will be just coming in the middle. Okay, so now our image portion is done, so we can now talk about our content section. We're grabbing the content, so let's just go in our home page here. So here what I'm gonna do is here first get the title, so put an h2 tag, and that one will contain our product dot I think product dot title, yes, should be title title. And of course, if we want to get that things should be working, we need to provide that type here, otherwise we will not get the one which we are looking for. Yes. Now if we come here, as you see, we are having that title. Just to make it looks perfect, I'm gonna make it a side by side so that it will be very easy to see. Okay, so that's the one. And also I'm gonna make it smaller. Okay, so now let's just put some class name on that. So class name should be, text should be 3xl, and Excel, and font should be, let's just make it as bold font. Okay, so that's our title for our product. And after the title, we should be generating one price tagging and other properties. So first thing first, I'm gonna go and grab, so the h2 tag, I'm gonna provide a div, then I'm going to provide another property. So this div, I'm going to keep it here because all the price formation and other things, it will be coming here. So now after the div, I'm going to provide a p tag here. So in that p tag, it will be just containing, I'm going to just grab that properties here. And of course, we need to import that image from React Icons. As you see, what I'm dealing it here, that how many people, we are just giving it a 250 a randomized text here because we are not having an exact data in that module. So that 250 people are viewing this right now. So this in top layer of that particular div, we're going to put a class name, and I'm going to make it as a flex. Flex should be column, and I'm going to provide a gap of 4. So you will see it will just push it through in between, because these other properties which will be in between, that will be a different scenario. And also I'm gonna just grab the similar properties or text here, which is just as simple as the previous one. So by which I'm okay, so this one is price formats. Okay, so now what I'm dealing here, first thing first, how much a person is saving from that. So we are providing the discount percentage into 100 divided 100, so means we are providing that particular prices here. So from this product, which is this 0.19, then we are giving that product description here, just passing the description and also that warranty information. Then it's coming with the brand, so product.brand, and also the category, product.category. So this is just a simple scenario here by which it will just generate this particular tagging. So now after another p tag, I'm going to provide the text here, so that will be the text scenario here. So now what I'm going to do, it will be a product dot, and there is a text key is there. I'm going to close that tag and I'm going to map it through. And here I'm going to take the item, and also I'm going to take an index here. So now I'm going to just provide a span, so it will be a span, and within that span I'm going to provide that item. If I hit save, you'll see there is two separate fragrance and perfumes. Of course, we need to make it looks perfect, so the key should be index. I'm going to provide, it can be a similar title should be available, so better to provide the index. So it will be a font should be medium, and I'm going to make it a capitalize. Okay, so now as you see, we should be also giving a comma here after finishing the first one. So now what I'm going to do is here that if the index is bigger than product should be product dot, not the capital P, should be product dot text dot length -1, and then we're gonna provide a particular comma, and is a gap should be there, so should be a comma and then the gap. So now as you see, we have the differences here. So now we can see the text, and it's just quite informative and it's easy to see. So now after that p tag, we will generate our add to cart button here. So add to cart button, and here we're gonna pass the product as the product. Is save. So now we should be able to see our, as you see, that button. So for this button, we are not working any other treatment here. We are just passing the button we have been earlier. So nothing, no other fancy properties. We are just getting that one like that. So after having that button, I'm gonna take a div properties here. On that div, I'm gonna get one image here. So on that particular image, how we're gonna just put a payment image here. So it should be the source should be for that payment. Sorry, it will be a payment image, and also in the alternative tag should be payment image. Oops, it will be payment. And for this one, just grab some class name, which should be auto. So means the auto is there, and object should be cover, and hit save. So you should be able to see one particular image here. As you see, that's the image we are looking for. And after that image, we're gonna give a p tag, which will be guaranteed save and secure checkout. So that's the combination should be aligned. So this not looking so completely. So I'm gonna put a class name here. Okay, and in that class name, I'm gonna make it a font should be semi-bold. Okay, right. So now in that particular div, for the class name, I'm gonna put a background of that, which is F7. Oops, should be okay. I need to provide the hash. Okay, so now that will be F7, F7, and F7. I think, yeah, that looks good. Padding should be 5, and also I'm gonna make it rounded MD. Hit save, and let's see. Yeah, that's the properties we are creating. Flex column, item center, justify center, and gap should be 2. Okay, so that is one. And now after that properties, we're gonna provide the review here. So after that div is finished here, it should be the reviews should be go here. So reviews, but remember we have one unfinished work in the top layer. We will just start dealing with that. So let's go in the top. I think it should be here. Okay, so now here we need to provide some other parameters that. So first thing first, I'm gonna take one more div, and here I'm gonna provide that properties of what you call that, the ratings and other parameter. So first, how many things is going to be there? So we're gonna just check the reviews and other properties, just how many people like it and how it's going to be work on that. So first thing first, I'm gonna just generate one array. So the array, it should be from, I'm gonna get a length of 5, the length of 5 array. So should be our rating should be 5. So and then I'm gonna make it a map. So first this one, and then I'm going to take an index property, and now I'm going to return. So in the return, what I'm going to return is that from here is just to be one MD star. Okay, MD star. Okay, just keep that return here. Hit save. Let's see what is just coming here. As you see, the 5 star is available, but it should not be like that way. We need to also arrange it in a proper manner, and this will be one parameter by which we are providing the star and other properties. But before that, so okay, we can finish it before just leaving that properties. So now I'm gonna make it a const, a field property, and that field property should be index plus 1. So it's bigger equal, and here I'm gonna make that a mat store floor, and here I'm gonna just grab that our product dot the rating we have here, and also we're gonna make one for the field, one for the half field. So means one will be the full color, one will be the half full color. So means if we have okay, let me just grab the key, should be index. So now how it should be work, like if you have the rating for 2.5, right? So how many stars should be marked? Of course the two stars should be marked, and another star should be half marked. So that's the way it should work, right? So now in this star, we're gonna grab these properties here. So in this star, let's just pull the class name here. So I'm gonna also generate that one within the backtick property. Okay, so now here I'm gonna make it a field property here. So how it's going to be filled? So in the field property, it's just make that text Amazon orange dark. I think, yeah, Amazon Orange Dark. And then that's the first parameter of that field. And after, whenever it's going to be, okay, I'm going to just generate this one here. It's just a simple class name injection here, which we are dealing right now. Okay, so it should be this case. So now if we have the fill color, should be Amazon Orange Dark. If it's half fill, then text Amazon Yellow Dark. If it's not fill, then the text should be light text. As you see, it's just not fill entirely. So that's what we just haven't created. So let's just grab some class name for that. The text should be base text, and the text and also I'm gonna make it like a flex item center. So as you see, that looks perfect. So now after giving that, we also need to provide that the p tag here, by which we're gonna see how many reviews it's just going to be happen to be there. So that one also it should be coming within a p tag. So let me just grab it here. So now what we did, we just put the rating to fixed. We're gonna fix with 1, and then we are putting the reviews. So means we have 2.8 reviews. So that's the review we are providing here. So if we just not make the fixed, how it's going to react, let's just see. Okay, as you see, 2.76 is not look so good. So we will just fix within one number, which is a 2.8. So now let's go in the top layer of that div. So class name flex item center, gap should be 1. And again, I'm really sorry, I'm just sometimes copy pasting it because feeling cold and it's very difficult to talk right now. But I don't want you two people to stuck on that with this project. I want to move on. So whenever you are watching people just coming returning from the first video, please feel free to just go alongside the way, just write those everything properly. It will be very fine, and don't worry about that, because at the end of the video I'm going to provide also that entire source code regarding that projects, from the login, from the state management, from the payment checkout, all the code I'm going to provide that to you for free. So don't worry, try practice that one. And if you cannot practice, if you're stuck on that, let me know in the comments below. If you just feel you did it, then also let me know. And also after finishing this video, you're gonna grab the entire code. Don't worry about that. Okay, so now that's the one is done here. So now we're gonna grab one more property here. So what it should be, we're gonna just get a div, and of course I think these two properties, so this entire thing I'm gonna generate one more div into here. So first thing, so that's my review here. Then I'm gonna provide my other parameter, which is going to be generate a price tag segment here. So how it will work, so let me just go and just open that one. So it will be another component which will be price tag.tsx. So here we're gonna pass that price, and then we're gonna grab it from here. So it's better if to do it in the simple way. So whenever you are having other issue, you can just call that tag properties, and you can just see the pricing and all other parameter how it's going to underline. As you see, we have the price tag. So now let's just put the class name, which going to be, I'm gonna just align that the way we want to make it in a proper way. Should be flex item should be center, and gap should be no, I'm justify should be between. I'm gonna give a gap up to in case it just stuck all together. Okay, so now you see the price tag is here. So now in the price tag I'm gonna provide something. I'm gonna provide that regular price. So regular price, and what will be the regular price should be product dot price, and plus it would be I think the product dot discount percentage divide 100. Not to finish that, yeah. So that will be the regular price. So means whenever you need to like the first price should be the price, then also the discount percentage we are providing, we are making it within the percentage layer, then we are providing the exact number. So that's the regular price. And now one will be discounted price. So what will be the discounted price? Discounted price will be the price is we just equally we're just making on that. So should be that product dot price, and we're gonna minus from that, which going to be product dot discounted oops, not a dimension, it should be discounted percentage divide 100. So in a both way, we are just passing out that pricing section once we are adding the discounted amount, once we are minusing the discounted amounts. So that's the scenario which we are creating. So in the price tag segment here, we need to also generate these properties here. Okay, one should be the price, regular price, another should be our discounted price. Okay, and also we're gonna take the one parameter which is going to be the class name too. And why we're gonna doing that, you're gonna just see it in a sec. So now that would be the property for the props here. Regular price is number, discounted price is number, class name is a string. So that's simple. So the props. Okay, so now in that div here, I'm gonna just put a p tag here. And of course, I think instead of putting a p tag, I'm gonna just make that one price. I think what's the name of that? Yeah, price format we are giving the name. So here we're gonna pass an amount which should be the regular price. So as you see, 130 is just coming here. So let's just grab some class name for it. So the class name should be line through, and then text should be gray of 500, and font should be medium. So now if you just go back in our price format, we are passing the style also here. You see, that's have a default style, but as you see, we are giving a style from here, how it going to be look alike. So that's way you can make it more robust and more productive. So again, should be another price format. And here what I'm gonna do, put an amount, it should be the discounted price. Okay, now you see 129. Also gonna grab some class name here. Font should be bold, text should be sky text. I think that should be, what's the property we give that? So tailwind config.ts. Yeah, no, we didn't provide anything here. So sky 600. Okay, 129. Now in that particular div, put a class name here. We're gonna make that one as, also we can use it anywhere, right? That's why we will make the TW marge. And here, first thing first, you're gonna make a flex item center, gap should be 2, and then we're gonna provide the class name, which the class name we are going to provide whenever we want. So now with this, you see, now we are having a very interactive single page segment here, by which you can see the title here, see the price valuation here, see the reviews here, how many people are viewing it, you are viewing, and that all the scenario. You see, now if we make add to cart, you see added successfully means also we are like creating our state that should be aligned here, and it will directly go here with this parameter. So okay, now we have one more segment is pending, which is the review section. And to create that particular review section, so let's roll back to our first page. So should be, I'm going to just make it smaller again, so in that way you can see it properly. So remember, we are making comments somewhere. Okay, so the review should be just going to be up and from here. So now we're going to make it as a product dot reviews, and it's also an array, so we're going to map through it. So first we're gonna take the item and return in line should be a div, and we're gonna first give a p tag should be item dot comment, just to see what we are having here. You see, 3 items: disappointing product, great product, excellent quality. So that's the parameter is coming here. So first also put the provide the key should be item dot review name, reviewer name, that's the unique here. So I'm gonna just pass that as a key. Now here, so instead of directly injecting this product, the review, I'm gonna pass it within a div parameter, and I'm gonna put a class name here which going to inject the all other scenario. The padding should be 10, and I'm gonna provide a background should be f7 f7 f7, and of course need to provide that hash. And after that, I'm gonna make it sorry, should be padding, yeah, I give a padding of 10. Okay, hit save just to see how it's look alike. Okay, looks good. So now I'm gonna give a call span of, because if we just come here and we just spare it, you see it's taking the half because we have divided within the 2 column span. So the call span should be to just to get that entire space here. Okay, so now let's just come back here again. I'm gonna make it flex. Item should be center and it should be flex wrap, and gap should be 10 in between. Okay, looks nice. So now in for that review section, so for this segment here, I'm gonna also interject some of the class name, how it will be look alike. As you see, giving a padding, a background color, and other properties. If you make it bigger, it will take these spaces. If you make it smaller, it will also take these spaces. So we can actually reduce the gap here. So first thing first, we're gonna give a gap of 2 here just to see, an MD gap of 10. Okay, yeah, cool. Not 2, but I think 5 will be okay. And we use the flex wrap. If we not use the flex wrap, let's see how it's going to be happen. It's gonna squash through together, but it's better to give a flex wrap, not to break all together, but to provide the alignment the way it should be, looks perfect. So now first let's make the p tag. Text should be base and font should be semi bold. Okay, that's the comment here. And after that p tag, I'm going to give another div, and here I'm going to make a p tag should be item dot reviewer name, then other p tag, and here should be item dot reviewer email. As you see, the two properties. Okay, it's not okay, I'm gonna, okay, we can make it bigger so that you can see it. Yeah, and also you can do one more thing just to make it more in a proper way. As you see, we are giving a padding here, I think padding 10. So first we're gonna make a padding 5, MD padding 10. So you can create so many scenario here, you know, so it depends on you how you want to make it feel like. So it just totally depends on you. So now you can go through it and create other properties. Okay, what's happened to my image here? Let's just see. Okay, is it coming? No, it's not coming, and it's because of that. Let's just comment it. Okay, I think we are delving it in a very wrong way, because as you see, we need to, okay, so that's our container, so that is our product parameter and other things. So I think what will be the best one is that to grab these properties, or okay, let me grab each and everything here. I'm gonna take another div here just to see how it's going to be look alike. Okay, yeah, I think we should be going that way. Okay, so now we are having one more div here, and that div is going to provide all the scenario. Okay, so now this is the div which is providing that injecting. Okay, so this is the one, I think. Okay, okay, that's good. That will do the purpose. So now I have these two, all three in a row. So now if I just roll back my class name here, because some weird thing is happening, why the image should disappear. Yeah, it's disappearing once I'm just, okay, padding y10, grid calls 1, MD grid calls 2. So now if we just come back here, what I want is to just remove the review. I'm gonna just make it in the bottom section of the review. Okay, so the review is the free from that particular card. And also what I'm gonna do, instead of this class name, I'm gonna cut it here. I'm gonna just pass it here. Okay, so as you see, that has no relation with that. So instead of passing that call span here right now, so what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna make width full. Okay, so it will take the full width, which is the max width of Excel. So yeah, now, yeah, I think it will save the purpose. So for that my, I think, yeah, that's the properties here, which I will just pass it to the parent. So now you can also feel free to see in your action how it's working and if it's really working or not. It's just some of the classification you can just align through it to see it how it suits better for you. So now I have this portion here by which I can pass the parameter. So for the class name text, I'm gonna make it extra small text for both the name and for the email. So now, okay, looks good, and font should be semi bold. Okay, quite well. So now here, okay, should be, no, I'm gonna make the font semi bold only for the reviewer name. So class name font should be semi bold. Okay, looks good. So now I will pass the review. Remember, we have been created the array scenario here. So that's the scenario, same scenario, we're gonna keep it here. Okay, we're gonna generate the array, then we're gonna just render one of the two properties, how it will just give a look like. So now that's the div which is just coming here. So after finishing that div, I'm gonna take one more div here, then I'm gonna make that array, and should be array, it should be from, and from I think we're gonna make a length of 5 array, we're gonna put that, and then we're gonna go through and make a map. So it should be, then it should be the index, and okay, so should be also returning that empty star. Okay, hit save. We should be able to see the star here. Yeah, 5 star is coming. Cool. So for the key parameter, we're gonna pass that index, and also for the class name, we're gonna just combine the class name. So if we're gonna make that like, if we have the item dot rating, the number parameter, if we have 3 rating, should be 3, 1 is the, like we have the 4 and 1. So if it's 4 is there, should be 4 will be marked I think the yellow, and other should be marked as the other parameter. So text, I think we can define the text, which the text should be Amazon, I think the orange dark looks perfect. Okay, so now we have that, so let's make it looks much better. So class name flex item center, cool, that is done. So now we have our review, we have our reviewer email, and I think with that's the setup for this dynamic link setup, how you can create that dynamic link, how you can view the pages and other properties. So as you see, if we go back there, if we come with another product, okay, now we need to also set a loading state once we are just coming to view that product. So how we can create that? Remember, in that ID, we can create one page here called loading.tsx rfce. So it should be the page for the loading page. So loading page, it's safe. Now if we go back here, and if we just come a new page here, as you see the loading page, so now we are having the loading page. We will just create the scenario what it could be once we are doing dealing with the loading page. So to create the loading page, let's just go and come here in the loading. So in the loading, what I'm gonna do, put a class name here. So the class name, it should be padding y of 72, make it much more bigger, and then we're gonna create loading instances. So I'm gonna create a simple file which will be loading.tsx, because we can now use it anywhere we like. Okay, not only this this page, we can create wherever we are looking for to just generate the loading scenario. We can just go and dump it there. So now in the loading, what we're gonna do, we're gonna use one loading spinner, and we're gonna implement that React, I think that's the name for React loader spinner. So pnpmi React loader spinner, that's the spinner we're gonna use it here. So okay, just give it a time to install the package here. And if you are curious, you can just go here and you can see the React spinners, how is the functioning and how it's working. So that's the scenario, you can just take it from here. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just create a loading instances here. So it should be rotate, rotating lines, I think rotating lines, yes. And we're gonna provide some of the class name or scenario here. Should be the visible should be true, and the stroke will be 5, and animation duration 0.75, area level, rotating lines of loading. And as you see also we did that because there is some of the scenario which is not helpful for that in the server side, by which we need to generate that use client properties. As you see, this visible or not, there is other properties is working, so we need to make it in that way. And for that particular div, put a class name. I'm going to provide a full width. I'm going to also provide a full height of the parent. BJ should be black and 80% opacity. I'm going to make it absolute top 0, left 0, flex. Flex should be column, and item center, justify center, just to mark everything in the center position. Okay, that's the one line. And after that also I'm going to take a p tag here, which will say loading 3 dots, and here put a class name. Text should be white, text should be 2XL, font should be bold, tracking should be widest. So with that, we should be able to spin a loading instances here. If we go back here, if we click, now it's a very minimum loading time. If we click here, new, as you see, loading, now our page is coming. So if we click here, you see, it's a quite bit of just a simple scenario how it is quick loading. Like if it's fetching one time, if you just come in the second time, it's not loading yet because it just took the scenario in a very hard way. That's the beauty of whenever you're using the Nextjs application. So now I think that's the way we are creating that dynamic fetching and other properties. So now what we need to create is to our state management, because whenever we click, we need to save something in this state, because first need to state, then we're gonna go with the card properties by which we're gonna render whenever we're gonna create the card. The page is still not created, so then we're gonna first we need to create our store to just save our product in the card, and after that we're going to create our user to log in the user, and after the login only we'll initialize the checkout segment. So that will be, I think, 1 or 2 more part on that, because I keep it in a simple segment wise, because first thing we are learning how to design the entire homepage, second things we are learning how to create the dynamic pages, third thing we're going to learn how to create the state management using that adjustant, fourth things we're going to learn how to sign up with that our alt.js. The fifth thing we're going to learn is how to make the payment. So now what it will be happen whenever you are going in on that way, because you're gonna having a better understanding to create in a different project also. I think you can feel free to finish this entire thing, and I think in the next video we're gonna set up our stats.